It looks like he's not actually getting a scout yet, which is a little bit risky. He doesn't even know if he's doing proxy barracks right now. And Scout is now going to go off for Scaphism. So we'll see this, but he's going to see it pretty late. Tower takes about 45 seconds, I believe, to build, which will give it time if he starts it now. He doesn't have the gold for it. So it's going to be a case of a few, sort of 10 seconds till he scouts it, and then he's just going to have to just rush out of tower. He's going to have to try and get some extra workers on it. Scaphism will now spot the build, and we'll see if he can throw down the appropriate counter pretty soon. He may just opt to cancel some workers just to get the tower out in time. Scaphism checking for the expansion, but that's somewhat unnecessary. And Keiras even pushing away his attempt at light poke. And Keiras actually on top of Scaphism's worker now, so that's going to make it really difficult for him to get the tower up. Just going to keep poking and harassing him. The tower does go up now, but the rifleman is already on the way. You can see he's starting to pull a lot of workers to try and get this tower up in time. It's going to be close. I don't think he's going to be able to stop the tower going up, but this rifleman is hopefully going to get in and do a bit of damage. He'll probably get a worker pick here from this one he's weakened. Or maybe, no, it's going to back off. But this tower is going to go up now. And that's going to force Keiras out. Oh, he's actually going to just go for it. Steps inside the main base. But this is a questionable decision from him. Gets in the corner and is going to try and do some damage, but Scaphism can just pull off any injured workers. And he's not... Oh no, he doesn't get a kill. There we go. Excellently defended there from Scaphism. And Keiras, a little bit behind now. He should be able to throw down an expansion pretty shortly. There we go. In about 3.5 minutes, you should be able to get that out. There you go. And it pops. And Scaphism is now throwing down the house to get his own barracks. He's looking in a pretty good position. Just going to chase this worker out. Bowman's going to come to meet it, so that'll be a nice pick for him to keep in the lead a little bit. But that being said, you might actually not get this. Yep, there we go. Worker is actually going to make it out alive there, so that's nice. Scaphism not quite on track of things. He's got some gold that needs spending there. I think he's going to try and grab the barracks at the front, but... Oh, no, alright. He actually goes for the fort. So the house at the front probably a bluff, just to deceive his opponent, and he is going to be pushing quickly into dragons here. So probably going to see him save up a lot of gold, and then try and drop a bunch of dragon nests all at once. But Keiras now starting to power up his own economy at home, as he finds a nice little spot to harass his opponent. Barracks starts, but his units are going to be a long way behind. It seems a very mixed build here from Scaphism. He's trying to get the barracks out, which I assume is just for soldiers to keep him safe, but he really just needs to save up money to get his dragons out, or he's not going to have any. You see Scaphism continuing to just rally across the map here. Sorry, Keiras isn't rallying across the map. And see, it is actually really close in workers with his extra few worker kills he managed to get. And this is a lot of wasted mine time, that's really not what you want. And you can see Keiras not quite keeping up in the background there for workers. But he is going to be helped significantly by the fact that the opponent went to that fort. The fort is done now. But, okay, there is gold for Dragon Nest. But only the one at the moment. Looks like he's going to save up and try and get the two. But the question is, what can you actually get? He needs to get this done pretty quickly. You might want to pull workers to boost it, but in the moment he's got a lot of units setting up pressure outside his base. If Keiras just goes to deny his third again. Questionable choice of placement there from Keiras. This base actually there are three decent spots you can actually put your castle, but it's a cute idea. Also just gives them a bit of vision up on that top side. Now the dance begins as Keiras tries to pick off this rifleman without getting in tower range. But the problem is, for Scaphism, Keiras is actually starting to build up a fair chunk of riflemen now. Not a huge amount, but certainly enough to contest one or two dragons. And he is actually going to go in here now against this tower. Workers are going to be pulled. Does back off and is going to take a bunch more damage on that soldier, which is not really what we want. He's possibly looking to take a third up here now. Yep, there's the third base. With the second barracks starts to complete. This is very reminiscent actually of a lot of builds we've been watching recently, which is quite interesting. A lot of players actually opting to skip this base here in favour of the slightly more defensive sort of choke, but a lot further out. You can see about 500 gold stacked up here for Scaphism now. The dragons will start, but he does kind of need the time. The tower's going to help out a lot, but Keiras just continuing to stack up units. Yeah, Keiras now starting to pump out some soldiers. Soldiers are really what you need to start contesting towers and pulling those down. He also has a Mage's Guild coming up in the background, so possibly going to switch into Soldier Mage. Or possibly even Fireball. The thing is, he's not seen many units whatsoever from his opponent, so he's got to be slightly suspicious. He's probably assumed there's a forge or something behind it, but he's not really seen anything yet. Two dragons will actually fly across the top of this map here, but that house there from Keiras will spot them. It's a really nice placement, and he's going to back off now, because he's got to go kill those. Pretty darn sharpish. Dragons start to go to town this worker line. There is another dragon on the way, and +1 armor on the way for the dragons. Scaphism out of position really here. He's got enough riflemen to probably take them out, but it's a case of actually hunting down these dragons. Keiras has actually preemptively pulled all his workers away from his main base. So he's doing pretty well to minimize the damage wherever he can, but these dragons are just leading him on a... Oh, that's not what he wanted, to stack the workers a bit there. But these dragons are leading on a bit of a goose chase right now. Just harassing and just doing some damage. The problem is with any tree line like this, you kind of have to be on both sides or they'll just slip out. Oh, Keiras actually possibly missed rallying 2 riflemen there. They're just going to go down for free. And Scaphism is starting to stack up the dragon count. Oh, does get underneath this dragon. Doesn't quite get this rifleman underneath it that he wants, but he does get some damage. Scaphism, sorry, now up with dragons on the top left hand side, but he's going to have to back out with his rifleman there. And I think Keiras is sick of running after dragons, and I think he's just going to go in. This dragon's going to try and get some damage on the soldiers, but he just doesn't have enough units at home. He's got another dragon, so it will be able to help. This is a very difficult position for Keiras. Difficult position for both of them really, because if the dragons get caught out. First soldier will go down there for Scaphism, but the dragons are really helping out to dish out the punishment on those soldiers. A worker will go down here at the front, and dragons being forced back there for Keiras. But all those soldiers at the front went down. And didn't manage to really kill any of these dragons, which are kind of the threat at the moment. Another huge swathe of riflemen are going to come down from the top side here. But dragons are picking off quite a lot of riflemen. But now without the support underneath them, they're going to back off. And this is the small problem when you're going for this dragon play. You kind of just get locked into it because they're so expensive. It's really hard to transition out of them. It does manage to throw down a third base here. Keiras may not quite mind out yet, but looking that way. Another house on the left hand side just gives them even more map vision. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one going down the middle at some point. Now we're starting to see upgrades coming out these forges for Keiras, and it looks like he's gonna go just skip his mage check for the moment. He doesn't really need it, but he's just got to really start to fire up this rifleman army and actually try and contest these dragons before they do much. I'd really like to see actually Scaphism try and get around a bit and see if he can get some more damage done with these dragons. There are these houses out on the map. The third base is really quite far away. But both players just sort of plugging home pretty defensively. Now with this third base about to finish up, this is going to unlock some more income for Scaphism, but it is going to cut into his gold even further to try and actually get enough workers on it. And there we go, as I said, house just going down there in the middle of the map, just to give him a bit more vision on what's going on. It's great for just seeing any dragons come sweeping through to the base. Now the supply is actually in favour of Scaphism, but with this huge rifleman force, there's going to be 20 riflemen are going to start coming in.